Welcome back. In this training video, we'll learn how to install FOURA. We'll look at the release notes and we'll talk about what's new in the help files. We'll also explore software versioning so users better understand why they should keep FOURA updated. So let's get started. The updater is a dual-purpose mechanism that allows users to install FOURA, and it's also the tool that helps users keep FOURA updated with the latest available software. First-time users will receive a link from their local FOURA systems administrator that will allow them to download the FOURA updater. Once it's installed, users can select the FOURA updater menu icon from the Start menu or the desktop shortcut that was created. Users can also pin the shortcut to their Windows taskbar if they prefer. The first time that the FOURA updater is opened, users will be presented with FOURASoft's End User License Agreement, or EULA. The user has the option to either accept the EULA or decline it. It's important to note that this is not the only opportunity to view the EULA. It can also be seen in the FOURA updater and within FOURA's help files. If the user selects the decline button, then the EULA and FOURA updater windows both close, as you would expect. This is pretty standard stuff. Users can't use FOURA unless they accept the EULA. Once the EULA is accepted, that form closes and the FOURA updater is available to interact with. One of the first things that a user will notice about the FOURA updater is that there's no menu. Only a few fields up top, a status bar, and some buttons at the bottom. Let's take a moment to go over the layout of the FOURA updater before performing a software update. The company name and release folder fields will be pre-populated. The current available software version will be displayed in the release version field. The installed version will display NA during the first use, and then be populated with an installed software version number thereafter. In the lower portion of the FOURA updater, there's a status update bar and 4 buttons. The View Log button also allows users to see what recent actions were taken by the updater. The EULA button will display FOURASoft's End User License Agreement. The Update button launches the FOURA updater, which will download any new software that's been made available. And finally, there's an Exit button, which closes the FOURA updater application. Let's select the Update button to install FOURA. This initial download will likely be the longest a user will ever wait for a FOURA update. And as you can see, there's a dialog box informing you to select the Exit button so that you can log into FOURA. But no harm will be done if users select the Update button again. Doing so doesn't provide any real benefit, but it does take less time to verify files than it does to download the files again. This also shows users that selecting the Update button won't harm anything either. To learn more about how to launch FOURA, please see the login tutorial on FOURASoft's YouTube channel. Once the user logs in, they can review the release notes in the Release Notes form. To do so, select the System Main menu, and then the Maintenance sub-menu, and select the Release Notes menu icon in the Functional menu. The release notes can also be accessed by typing REL in the menu code area of the FOURA Navigator. Once the Release Notes forms opens up, the notes for the latest release will be available to view. The Quick Filter allows users to view recent version notes or the release notes for all versions. Users can use the record selector at the bottom to toggle through various release notes. Users can also press the F1 button on the keyboard and open up FOURA's help file, where they can view what's new in the Introduction section, which highlights many new features and lists many smaller enhancements and fixes. Now let's finish by taking a moment to explore the software version layout and what that means to users. The software version number is a 4-position number separated by decimals. The numerical values of the first 3 positions may change when there's a significant software update. Users logging in directly to FOURA will be immediately prompted with a dialog box that instructs the user to open up the FOURA updater and download the latest software version. In situations where only the last value on the right changed, this indicates that there's a minor or optional release available. Users logging into FOURA directly will not be prompted to open up the FOURA updater to get the latest optional software update. Typically, these optional updates are generally internally communicated by the business. Optional releases simply mean that FOURA will continue to work just fine with or without the installation of the current available version. However, it can't be stressed enough that optional releases are relevant to the productivity of the user and often will include small enhancements and fixes, so we recommend that all users grab the update as soon as it's available. In both cases, users simply need to select the FOURA Updater menu option, and then select the Update button to let the FOURA Updater download and install the latest version. Then users simply need to close the FOURA Updater and relaunch FOURA. Well, that wraps up this tutorial. Please be sure to check out additional tutorials to learn more about FOURA's powerful features, processes, and tips. Thanks for watching.